today. This is Teach Smart Bootcamp 1.0 and this is day 1. Okay, this bootcamp is brought to you by Genesti Edu Design Technologies and I am your coach, Esther. I'm your lead facilitator for this bootcamp. Okay, so we're going to be learning, unlearning and relearning. Okay, so by the end of this bootcamp, you'll be able to master Microsoft PowerPoint for content creation. You'll be able to develop engaging video lessons and effectively use Google Classroom for class management. I know some of you have been using it, but you'll learn to use it effectively. Design professional educational materials using Canva. Create interactive worksheets, flashcards, and templates, and utilize AI tools for lesson planning and content creation. Okay, build interactive quizzes and educational games. Then we'll walk you through sending bulk files efficiently through your mail. Then how to generate song for any lesson that you want to teach. How do you generate songs for your lessons? As a professional, how do you also just generate song? Let's say for those of you who love writing songs, how do you turn those songs? How do you turn those writings into song? Okay, not necessarily sung by you, but it will sound really cool. Okay, so let's go right into these lessons. Thank you. Introduction to Microsoft PowerPoint design. So in this session, you will learn to turn ordinary slides into powerful teaching tools. Okay, how do you create engaging and visually appealing presentations that captivate your audience? This is what we are going to be learning in a couple of days. Okay, so now once Microsoft PowerPoint, as you know, for most of you who use your computers, you know that there's a software called Microsoft Office. So this Microsoft Office is a package developed by Microsoft that comprises most of these softwares that we use: Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Access for database creations, Microsoft Publisher, Microsoft Project, Microsoft OneNote, Microsoft Outlook. Okay, so once you have one installed on your computer, it means that every other package is actually installed. Because I've heard someone say, oh, I have Microsoft Word, but I can't find PowerPoint on my computer. That's not true. Once you have Microsoft Word in your computer, you definitely have PowerPoint, you definitely have Excel. It's a all-in-one package. They come together. Once you install Microsoft Office in your computer, everything comes together. So PowerPoint is a presentation software, and like I said, it was developed by Microsoft, and it lets you create visual slides. It helps you create slides for teaching, for business, for personal use. You can use it to prepare proposals. You can use it to prepare a slide for a seminar. You can use it to prepare. You can even use it to prepare video lessons. So Microsoft PowerPoint is very versatile. It's very versatile. It does more than just creating ordinary slides. Okay, so it breaks down complex concepts into visual chunks, keeps your lessons organized, and supports different learning styles. Serves as a digital whiteboard. Yes, many people use Microsoft PowerPoint as a digital whiteboard to teach, promote interactive and collaborative learning. So let's look at the principles of effective slide design. Number 1, keep it simple. Avoid overcrowding your slides with too much text. Stick to one idea per slide and use short phrases instead of full sentences. Okay, so make it short. That's what number 1 means. Make it short. Keep it very simple. Don't make it don't make it so difficult for audience to communicate with your slide. Your audience should remain focused on you who is actually speaking. why they engage with your slide. So if your slide is so overcrowded, they'll find it very difficult to even focus on you, because your slides and you go together. Okay, so do not have too much text on the screen. For example, typing, you're trying to prepare a seminar, let's say a seminar to talk about customer service, and then you put up your text on the slide, and it begins from this point all the way down here. No spacing, everything just choked together. That's a wrong way of creating your slides. Number 2, use the rule of 6 by 6. So 6 by 6 rule is a very basic rule for PowerPoint creations, right? So but I have a tweak to that. So it says no more than 6 bullet points per slide and no more than 6 words per bullet points. Okay, so what that means is maintain the rule of 6 bullet points. So these are bullet points, right? So here I have 2. And so making it 6 makes it look better and not overcrowded. So it makes people focus, okay, this is bullet 1, 2, point number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so now it's different when you want to, if you're creating a slide for a seminar. It's different when you're creating a slide for a presentation like what I'm doing right now. So for me, I could add like 7 to 8 bullets depending on my audience, depending on the people I'm communicating to. So if I'm communicating to children, I may leave it 4 bullet points per slide. If I'm communicating to maybe upper primary to secondary school, then I'll make it 6 bullet points. So you must know the audience you're talking to know but not more than 8, because it would overcrowd. Not more than 8. And then when it says no more than 6 words per bullet point, so if we count these words here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I always say, for me, I'll say not more than 8 to 10, not more than that. Okay, so if you use more words, then limit the number of bullets on a slide. If you use more words per bullet point, limit the number of bullets per slide, and then make sure the text is very visible for people to see, for your audience to see. Number 3, consistent design. Use a consistent font. So if you begin your slide with Arial black for the heading, this is a heading, this is the body of the slide, and this is just a graphics that just catches attention. Okay, so if I was going to use Arial black for all headings, so I will make sure that I remain with that consistency. And if I was going to use Comic Sans for all of, well, this is Apple's font. So if I'm going to use that, I'll make sure that all the body text have apples or have Comic Sans or have Calibri. So make sure you stick to consistent fonts. Then consistent color palettes. So know the colors you want for your slide. Not more than 3 to 4 colors, please. If so, we're going to use blue. Like here, I have blue, I have white. I think those are my basic colors. Then my text is black. Okay, so those are my basic colors. This slide still looks very presentable, still looks very cozy. There's no ambiguity in it, so everything is just cool, right? So consistency in colors and consistency in layouts. So for educational presentations, stick to legible fonts like Calibri, Comic Sans, Apples, Arial, and Century Gothic. And remember, you can always download fonts online. Okay, child-friendly fonts, most especially when you're designing for children in nursery and lower primary, and you want to use child-friendly fonts. Remember, you can download that and install them. Okay, use high-quality visuals, images, icons, and charts. Make your content engaging and memorable, right? So but avoid clutter. Don't clutter images everywhere. Don't just scatter the images everywhere and make it look very weird. Avoid graphics with watermark. If you see a graphics that has watermark in it, please avoid it. And remove background from your images. So we'll do that in a bit. I'll show us how to remove backgrounds. I'll show you example of pictures that have watermark later. Apply contrast and readability. So ensure text stands out against the background. So dark text on a light background, dark text on a light background, and light text on a dark background. Okay, make sure that your background and the text on the background does not conflict such a way that audience are struggling to read what's on your slide. Okay, yeah. What are the tools and features in PowerPoint? So we have templates. So templates are pre-made designs. They are already designed, and they are put in PowerPoint for you to be able to explore them and see which one you can recreate. So you can actually choose templates from PowerPoint and recreate them. You can choose business proposal template. You can decide to choose an digital marketing template. You can decide to choose an educational template. It depends on what you want to do at a particular time. Smart art is used to create visual diagrams and graphics. Okay, and just for like exactly what you're looking at right now, this is an example of a smart art. So this was created using smart art in PowerPoint. And then we have icons. So built-in icons for visual storytelling. Now for the newer versions of Microsoft Office, right? So they have built-in icons, most especially the paid one. Microsoft 365 has built-in icons, like varieties of icons you can choose from. But older versions may not have it, so you may need to bank on external sites to get your icons. Okay, transitions. So transition is an effect that is added between your slides. It controls how your slides move. Okay, while animation is also an effect, but only added to the elements on your slide. So this is an element on my slide, and this is another element. If I wanted to add animation to this and this, I'll do that with animation. But transition only affects the slide. So the way the slide moves, comes in and go out, that is transition. So inserting audio and videos, yes, you can insert audio, videos, those are multimedia to your presentation. Then Slide Master helps create consistent layout and branding. Okay, so if you wanted to have a logo on every of your slide and you don't want it to move, you don't want it moving all around, so this is what Slide Master does. Slide Master helps us to customize. So this was designed with Slide Master. You can also design your theme with Slide Master. Okay, I always advise to avoid the theme that exists in PowerPoint. Okay, try to design your own. It will look more professional if you do. Designing with your students in mind. When creating presentations for students, you have to use age-appropriate visuals and language. Okay, so if you know the class you want to create a lesson for, please make sure you use age-appropriate visuals. So age-appropriate visuals for children in nursery, preschoolers, and lower primary could be images that clip art images, which are cartoon-like images. So you can always make use of a lot of cartoon-like images in your slides. Use creative and child-friendly fonts. Like I said, we'll explore how to download fonts from online sources. Okay, how to download very beautiful, creative, child-friendly fonts. Okay, and other fonts too. Include activities or questions to promote interaction. Okay, when you're designing, make sure you include some activities. It could be a quiz. It could be flashcard activity. Can anybody show me what this is? Can anybody tell me what this animal is? Can you spell this? What you can see on this picture? Include activities because you're designing for students. Okay, add voice narrations for self-paced learning. Well, this is where creating your slides into a video comes in, like a situation whereby a child is is playing your slides and they can hear your voice. Okay, so incorporate storytelling elements to boost engagement. Okay, practical tips for slide design. Start with a title slide. Remember, every presentation must have a title slide. That is the first point of call. That's the first thing that your audience are going to see, children are going to see, students are going to see once your presentation comes in front of them. Use section headers to break your lessons into parts. Okay, so example of section headers to break my lessons is like what I did here. Principles of effective slide design. So this is a section header. I created my own section header this way so that it could navigate me to the next things I want to talk about. Okay, so you can use section headers to break your lessons into parts. Then add did you know or think about these slides for curiosity. So these are like questions. Oh, did you know that this happened? Oh, think about this. What do you think would happen to a frog just think about something. Curiosity, when you're designing a lesson, you can add all those did you know, think about this. Always end with a summary or reflection question. So a reflection question could be, oh, what did you gain from this lesson today? Or what do you think photosynthesis is? So these are reflection questions. You're trying to ascertain if the children grasped everything you've been talking. You're trying to ascertain that. So that's why you need a reflection question. Alright, so these are just quick tips. I think I am done with my slides. So I would navigate straight into PowerPoint to show us how and what the interface of PowerPoint looks like, and then we'll explain some of the features we can see before we go into any other thing. All right.